welcome to Cooking and Complaining. I've missed y'all this week. Were you cooking and complaining without me? I suspect you were, and that's okay. I actually been reading a lot of your Facebook comments, and everybody's been so nice, and some of y'all even shared my video with your friends. So that was really nice. Thank you for that. There was one comment on Facebook that really wasn't very nice, so I thought that I would share that with y'all. I don't remember it word for word, but it went something like, aren't you married and what does your husband eat? So, yes, Toby, somebody did marry me, and it's just that my husband is real shy, so I don't like to talk about him a lot on the show because my therapist says I'm supposed to respect his shyness or whatever. So, that's why I don't really talk about him. But what does he eat? He eats what I cook. What do you think he eats? That's rude. So, yeah, when we were dating, I had him over the first time I ever had him over for dinner, and he ate like 3 or 4 bowls of my chili. So what does that tell you? Obviously, he likes my cooking. So anyway, I'm not going to make chili tonight. I'm actually, that was a special occasion, and that's kind of a lot of work. So what I am going to make is burritos. So what you're going to need is you're going to need a pan, and any old pan will do, except maybe not a round one. You want to get square or rectangle, and some cooking spray, and you're just going to spray your pan real good with your cooking spray. And once you get it sprayed, then what you're going to do is you're going to get yourself a bag of frozen burritos. And these come in lots of different kinds. I got the beef and bean ones, but I think you can get them in just beef or maybe beans and cheese or something like that. And you're just going to use your scissors. Make sure you have a good pair of scissors in the kitchen. I use my scissors probably more than any other tool in the kitchen, so I got a real good pair. And you're just going to open up the burritos, and you're just gonna put them in the pan. And it's okay if they touch each other, but I just wouldn't put them on top of each other. So just fill up the pan real good, and I can get the whole bag in there. So that's nice. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna get some enchilada sauce and pour that over the burritos. I got the spicy kind because my husband likes the spicy kind, and I guess this is all about him. So I prefer mild, but I'm going to go ahead and just put the spicy over the burritos. And if it doesn't come out fast, you know, just work on that. And so you want to make sure they're all covered all the way up. And you might want to use 2 cans. I got 2 cans. So you're just going to pour them all over, make sure they're all covered. And once they're covered, then you're just going to use some shredded cheddar and put that over the top. And once I'm going to go ahead and use the whole bag, it's about 2 cups. And spread it out real good. Make sure every one of the burritos has cheese on it. And then I'm just going to put that in the oven. I got my oven preheating on 350, and these are going to go in for about 35 minutes. And I think my husband's really going to like it. So while that's cooking, what I was thinking about is marriage and how marriage is kind of complicated sometimes. Because there's a lot of unwritten rules about being married, about like respecting each other and privacy and taking care of each other when you're sick and all of that. And it's a lot of things you don't think about when you're dating, because when you're dating, you're on your best behavior, and your spouse is on his best behavior. Well, he's not your spouse yet, but anyway. And so you don't really know how much they're going to annoy you until you're married and you're living together. And you know, what I have learned is that you don't really have to say everything to your spouse that comes into your head. And the reason why I was thinking about this recently was because I borrowed my husband's cell phone, and I wasn't really snooping in it or anything like that. It's just that I was looking through it, and I found this list, and it's kind of like my list of things that I hate. But his list was called rude, mean, and disrespectful things my wife says to me. And I think it's kind of rude to keep a list like that. But I was reading through it, and I wanted to share a couple of things that he had on his list to see what y'all thought about it. And one of the things, in no particular order, I guess one of the things that I said was, your breath smells like boiled okra. And I probably didn't need to say that. That's really not very nice. I probably could have just said, honey, would you like a Tic Tac? And I think he would have got the point. So, you know, just something he had on the list. Another thing was, would you please not cough so loud? And I didn't really think this was that rude because I did say please. It's just that, like I was saying, when you're married and you're supposed to be taking care of each other when you're sick, it's kind of hard because when somebody's sick, it's kind of annoying. So what I do is, whenever he's sick, I just make up a nice bed on the couch, or if you have a guest room, you can just make up a nice comfortable bed and ask them to sleep out there. And you can put out some cough drops and, you know, maybe some 7-Up or something for them. And then that way, it's not so frustrating for you. And then one other thing that he had on the list, and he had a lot of things on the list, but I didn't want to tell you all of them, was I would really like to go out with you, but can you trim your nose hair first? And this is something that wives just, sometimes you got to tell your husband these things, because I don't think they really know, but it's kind of your responsibility. So, but, you know, maybe just try to say it in a nice way, or maybe you can just offer them a pair of nose clippers or something like that. So, I guess my point is that I really don't think that people should live together before they get married, because I think that maybe if I had lived with my husband first, maybe he wouldn't have married me. But what I did was, when we were dating and he was starting to want to come over all the time, and I got the feeling that maybe he wanted to spend the night or move in, I just said, no, you are going to marry me first. And I just put my foot down and I just said, if you want to live with me, you ought to marry me. And he did. And so we've been married about 8 years now. And I think it's going pretty good. And I think he likes my cooking too. So that's really all I had to share with you all tonight. And while your burritos are cooking, since it's Friday night, you can go ahead and have a glass of wine. I think I'm going to. And in the meantime, y'all have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.